Ian Moore is putting himself in position to start. During spring ball, he's shown the consistency, physicality, and growth Ohio State needs up front.
You are Locked On Buckeyes, your daily podcast on the Ohio State Buckeyes. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
I am Jay Stevens. During today's show, we will discuss that the Buckeye basketball team should move back to St. John Arena, as well as some necessary upgrades Ross Bjork needs to think about adding to the shoe. But first, Ian Moore is one of the guys on the team that has been around for a few years, that knows Ryan Day's way of doing things. He knows what's being asked of him, and he's in a prime position to start this year. And when you know you're competing to start and all eyeballs are on you to see if you're going to step up when challenged, it is a moment when you have to look in yourself and say, am I ready for this? And Ian Moore's one of those guys on the offense that is not only in a position to step up, he's also in a position to show everybody he has what it takes to start for the Buckeyes this year, and he can take another step forward in that direction to cement his spot to be a starter this year during the spring game. It's a few days away, and it's going to be a game where a couple of starters won't even be available in Austin Siereveld and Phillip Daniels. That means more reps and more snaps for Ian Moore, which is what he needs, but also it's just a bigger opportunity and a larger sample size for Ian Moore to show everybody he has what it takes to be a starting left tackle at Ohio State. And I say left tackle because I believe that's where he's going to be. That's where he should be. He should be the starting left tackle this upcoming year. That does mean moving Austin Siereveld, and I think for him, put him at right guard. That's the best spot that he's going to be playing in the National Football League. And so don't put him out of position at playing tackle. He is an interior offensive lineman. He has always been that. Yes, he was a solid tackle a year ago, but being solid a year ago in games that weren't against elite teams, that's great. But against elite teams, it was clear that Austin Siereveld had a lot of work to do. Ian Moore has a lot of work to do. He is not a finished product. He is not a guy that's going to be thrown into the starting lineup and then bam, he's going to be off to the NFL because his work in Columbus is done. That's not him. But when you think about offensive line play and a way for you to make a name for yourself and for the coaches to view you in a way to be someone that is a real threat to start, consistency is key. Physicality is key. Growth, your communication. I mean, every little detail playing offensive line play, those things are key for you to make sure that you're putting yourself in the right situation to be successful and to compete to start. Earl Little Jr. made a comment when he was asked about comparing Ohio State to Florida State and Alabama, the two other schools he's played at and the school he's currently at. And he mentioned how at Ohio State you compete in everything. And he actually highlighted the weight room and that Ohio State competes in the weight room, unlike other schools that he's been at, that they compete in the weight room, or they don't compete in the weight room. Sorry, little play on words. But you understand what we're talking about. The fact that Ohio State is as quickly taken over the Earl Little mind and realizing at Alabama, in a lot of years of Nick Saban, they weren't competing in the weight room like they are at Ohio State. At Florida State, they weren't competing in the weight room and pushing each other in the weight room like they are currently at Ohio State. And when we mentioned this earlier, when we discussed and dove into Earl Little's comments, I made a comment on this show saying, if you compete in the weight room, there's a good chance it's going to transfer and translate to the practice field. If it happens in the practice field during spring, there's a good chance it's going to translate and move with you to the summer workouts. If it happens in summer workouts, it'll probably follow you into fall camp and then into the regular season. When you work on competing and you have to have a mindset shift and a mindset locked in to compete in everything you do, it's going to make not only you better and test yourself, it's going to make the team better and the team test themselves because they are striving to be better every single day. There's a phrase, we need to get 1% better every day. Well, what happens when you have 100 days and you fully get 100, or you get 1% better? You'll be perfect. I know what people say, like, oh, 1% better. You could always get better. Yes, 1%. Eventually going to get to 100%. Yeah, you could get to 200. I mean, there are ways to get higher, but the 1% every day motto, while it doesn't fully hit me in the ways that I think it might or it used to, the thought is the same. Constantly strive to get better in everything you do every single day so that when you look back and you're 2 weeks or 3 weeks down the road, you look back to the beginning point, you're thinking, wow, my footwork got better. My hit at the point of attack, that got better. My vision got better when I'm pulling. My communication on the offensive line is better where all 5 guys are on the same page. Those things are getting better. So if you need to say you need to get 1% better every day to help you stay locked in, great. But if you don't, figure out what you need to do so you're locked in every day so that when your number is called, you're ready. And that's what Ian Moore is doing right now. He is doing things in himself so that when his number is called, he is ready. From the young man from New Palestine High School, sitting at 6'6", 312 pounds. I'm telling y'all, he's ready. He's ready for the goods. Now, we don't fully know. We won't really get the sample size that the coaches need on Saturday in the spring game, but you can really get a glimpse of if a guy is dominating or if he's slacking, if he's stepping up to the task, if he's falling because he just can't get it done. You'll be able to see. I mean, he's going to be going up against Kenyatta, Quay Russaw, Bo Atkinson, guys that have different pass rush skill sets, different tools in their bag. So it's not so much as him and Kenyatta play after play after play, because eventually you know what a man's going to do. You know his counter. He knows your counter. You're like, man, give me somebody different. Maybe work a little bit harder. And when he's working, as he gets more snaps, as he gets more reps, what are you going to find? That Ian Moore is ready. And I'm saying this knowing we have had very little time to watch practice. That doesn't mean he's not ready. That just means for us, we don't have the access that some other people have. But we do have Ryan Day's words about Ian Moore and how Ryan Day views him as a player this year. Quote, Ian has done some really good things. So that's been great. And I think he understands now, going into this year, he's got some time under his belt. He certainly has gotten better. And he's got an opportunity to play himself into a starting role here, end quote. And that last part is key to me. There's an opportunity. Now, I can say he's putting himself in position to start. Yes, that's part of the opportunity. He can't let it slip away. He can't let that thing just hit his hand. He closes his hand trying to grasp it, and no, it just floats away and goes with the wind. He can't allow that to happen. He must seize the opportunity like he currently is and make sure that as he's seizing the opportunity, everybody in Mama knows it's his job. He's taking the job, and nobody can take it away from him. Looking forward to seeing the spring game. We don't normally talk about a singular offensive lineman like this, but I think Ian Moore can be special. I'm not going to say first-round pick special. I'm not going that far, but he could be a potential 2-year starter. He can be a guy that could be a captain next year. He can also be someone that solidifies that blind side. So now you have a stronger interior of the offensive line. Out goes Tegra, in comes Austin Siereveld. And the next thing you know is that offensive line is going to be a whole lot better because the Buckeyes have made the necessary adjustments and upgrades to that unit so it can be the best it can be. Speaking of upgrades, Ross Bjork has been very, very busy to try to figure out what upgrades need to be made to the shoe. We're going to dive into that and why it's very important in Ross Bjork's eyes to upgrade Ohio Stadium. That's all coming up after the break. This is Locked on Buckeyes. This episode is brought to you by Rouge Yet Ready. The NHL playoffs are here, where every shift matters, every moment is intense, and the pressure is at its highest. And just like performance matters on the ice, it matters off the ice too. That's where Rouge Yet comes in. Rouge Yet offers treatments designed to help you get ready and stay ready when it matters. Their top option, Rouge Yet Ready, combines clinically proven ingredients in a simple mint that dissolves under your tongue. It works fast, often in about 15 minutes, and can last up to 36 hours. And they also offer Go Long, designed to help you with both performance and control. It's all about confidence and feeling like yourself again. Head to rougejet.com/lockedonnhl and get 15% off your ED treatment. That's RUGIET.com/lockedonnhl for 15% off. Rouge Yet, performance medicine for men. Thank you for making Locked On Buckeyes your first listen of the day, and for making Locked On the #1 sports podcast network. Get Locked On Buckeyes ad-free with the Everydayer Club, plus members-only Discord access and more. You can join the fun at lockedonbuckeyes.supercast.com or tap the link in the show notes to learn more. Ross Bjork came to Ohio State, replaced Gene Smith, and one of the things Ross Bjork has done, he started shortly after becoming the AD, Director of Athletics at The Ohio State University, is work on upgrading Ohio Stadium, from the fan experience to the game day experience to things with the TV trucks to where they are located. He is focused on making sure Ohio Stadium is not just one of the best venues in the country in college football, but it truly has some of the best amenities, has a great fan experience, and overall just making everything better. He's on the right track. It needs to be better. I have been to Ohio Stadium a few times. Maybe you have as well. Maybe some of you are preparing to go for the first time this coming Saturday for the spring game. You're going to get there. You're going to see the rotunda. You're going to see where your seat is. You're going to see that there's really not a bad seat in the venue. You're going to be like, ooh, and just be in utter amazement at what is standing now, which is an over 100-year-old stadium. It's wild that it's been held up and it's been in such good condition for as old as it is. However, the bathroom situation isn't the way it should be. The concession stand situation isn't the way it should be. This restroom situation, as far as more restrooms for women, as I've seen that out there, I don't know. I'm a man, but I have seen people complain about the lack of restrooms for women. Okay, there are things with Ohio Stadium that need to be upgraded. But having a leader of the athletic department at The Ohio State University that is focused on trying to make sure that things get better, that's where you need to be. Here's Ross Bjork on some potential upgrades to Ohio Stadium. You may like what he has to say because he is trying to help you have a better and more modern experience when you go to Ohio Stadium. Quote, whether it's driving revenue, whether it's aging amenities, whether it's fan experience stuff, it's really just making sure the stadium is modernized every step of the way, end quote. And when I look at Ohio Stadium, and the stadium I frequent the most, or the pro stadium I've been to the most, is Lucas Oil Stadium, there's a drastic difference between a college football stadium and an NFL stadium. But I think you can bring up the collegiate experience at Ohio State for a Buckeye football game, not so much to match the game day experience and the feel of an NFL arena and stadium, but you can make sure that the place Ohio State is playing is making the changes needed to literally keep up with the Joneses. I don't like using that phrase very often because it feels like you're doing things to keep up with somebody else, but you kind of have to right now when everything is more modern. And you look at the NBA, they've been building a lot of arenas recently. The used to be the Staples Center. I don't know the new name of it, crypto.com something. I don't know. But what is it? It's about 20 years old now, almost 20 years old, but it's newer. They have made the necessary adjustments. I've been to the Gainbridge Fieldhouse quite a few times. And for the time they opened it to where it is now, they have made necessary adjustments and things to make it more modern, even to the point that you can walk in a certain area and you don't have to pull your debit card out. There is no cash there. It's a cashless transaction. I actually believe, if I remember this correctly, you put your card into a reader before stepping through to the zone. You go through the zone, pick everything up that you want. As you walk out, you instantly pay for it. I don't know how that technology works, but that can come to Ohio Stadium 100%. Ross Bjork is currently working on some other changes. There will be new LED fascia boards on both the east and west sides. A new video board will be there on the north end. The opening of the 1922 club. There will be renovations to the concourse restrooms. There you go. And the addition of south end zone field level chair back seats and suites will be ready for the opener September 5th against Ball State. All those things are needed. Absolutely needed. But none of this stuff I'm listing right here is discussing the game day experience. What you feel when you get to Ohio Stadium. My first time going to Ohio Stadium, I don't need a fan fest. I don't need 1,000 uh uh gift shop trucks around. I don't need that. I want to go to a game. I want to get from my car to the stadium, get through the security, give me something to eat, and go sit down. Or maybe go sit down and then get something to eat. But I don't need all the extras. I'm one person. I am me. I don't need that stuff. And I've gone to NFL games and I've been to college games. I don't look around and say, okay, who's throwing the football? Well, where the carnival games at? I don't need that. I myself don't need that. But there are people that know that they look forward to the extra kid activities or the extra amenities that a stadium or a venue may provide for you so that it can be a more memorable moment and situation for you. These are things I don't need. But I guarantee you there are a lot more people that would love to have, let's say you want to go to a game, you want to tailgate, but you don't want to go to a game because it's expensive, but you rather just get the tailgate, have the TV there, do an outside the arena or the venue experience. You're not in the stadium for the game, but you're watching it along with everybody else that's inside the stadium. You're just a few feet away from the door, from the gate. How about you bring gift shops that are outside the stadium closer to the stadium so more people can buy them? I mean, sounds crazy, right? But the one thing about the shoe that I enjoyed my first time going was that I was there. One thing I quickly noticed, this thing is not just old. A lot of the stuff is outdated. Ross Bjork knows this is not going to be an overnight sensation. It's going to take some time. It's going to be a project that's going to span maybe 5 to 10 years. And he's also very smart to where he can't do it all himself. He can't just consult with the people that have the money or with other people that may be able to make decisions to help Ohio State have a better viewing experience. He's going to talk to the fans. I think it's a big benefit for the school because without the fans, the venue won't be full. It seats 102,000. It gets the true seating capacity. I think the record is like 105 or 106,000. I believe it's for one of the games against Michigan. I don't know that to be exact. I know 105. They've had over 105 in the stadium. I don't know the exact full-time capacity number. But one thing we know is without the fans, you don't have to worry about the game day experience. You don't have to. But when you want to bring them in and you want to make sure that you have a ticket price that is justified by everything that you have going on at Ohio State, you got to make some upgrades. I guess the theme of this show is upgrading the offensive line by starting Ian Moore, upgrading the shoe, which is great because it needs to happen. But how about we upgrade the venue the basketball team plays in? And a lot of Ohio State fans are saying the basketball team needs to move back to St. John Arena. I've been in that bad boy before. It's a great place to just sit down and watch a game. Well, I didn't watch a game. I watched the Skull session, but I can only imagine in my head what it might be like to be there to watch a game in the St. John Arena, why it makes a lot of sense, why fans may want the team to move back there. But something in me believes that might not happen, and I'll tell you why after the break. This episode is brought to you by Rocket Money. If you've ever opened your bank account and thought, where did all my money go? You're not alone. Keeping track of subscriptions, spending, and bills can get overwhelming fast. That's where Rocket Money comes in, helping you take control of your finances all in one place. It tracks all your subscriptions in one spot and can help cancel the ones you don't need with just a few taps. It automatically categorizes your spending so you can actually see where your money is going. And you can set budgets, get alerts, and stay on top of upcoming bills. It just makes everything feel more organized and gives you a clearer picture of your finances day to day. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Let Rocket Money help you reach your financial goals faster. Join at rocketmoney.com/locked-on. Once again, you can join at rocketmoney.com/locked-on. That's rocketmoney.com/locked-on. Thank you all for tapping Locked On Buckeyes and for making this show your first listen of the day. Remember, you don't want to miss what's coming up next with this show. You got a lot more Buckeye basketball portal conversations coming out at you the rest of the week. There will be conversations here about the spring game and a crossover variety with myself and Spencer McLaughlin coming up later today. And so you don't want to miss anything. So make sure you subscribe to Locked On Buckeyes on the app you're utilizing right now, and you hit that notification button so you get notified every time a new show goes live. Speaking of going live, I love watching basketball. The ball is up, the ball is tipped, and just the up and down nature, the shooting, the defense, the dunking. I love watching basketball. And the first time I went to the shot, I had done a little bit of digging, and I realized that it was the biggest venue basketball arena in the Big Ten. I don't know the updated numbers if maybe the Pauley Pavilion of UCLA or one of the schools that has recently joined the Big Ten has a bigger venue than the shot. But if they don't, great. If they do, it's okay. The shot is big. It's rarely sold out. It's rarely half full. Buckeye fans are not the crazy basketball fans like you get at North Carolina or Duke or Arizona. Like, they are not that type of crowd. So I understand why in the late 90s, Ohio State opened up St. John Arena and said, oh, man, this is for us. This is great. No, it's cool to have it. But are you wasting space? And that thought there of wasting space is one that I think a lot of Ohio State fans think about when considering if the team should move back to St. John Arena. There's stuff there where the court used to be. You would have to spend a lot of money to get different chairs. I don't think you would reopen St. John Arena with the old school chair still intact. You'll want something a little bit more comfortable, which takes down the capacity of the seating of the arena. And people would say, well, they got the money, just do it. And as much as I like St. John Arena, I think it would be a great venue for college basketball. I don't see them going back there to play there full time. However, I do see them trying to do something with the shot and realizing, is it best to tear it down and start from scratch? Or is St. John Arena really the place they should play the basketball? And it all goes down to them figuring out where they should spend their money. If the major belief is we need to spend our money on St. John Arena, the shot is not it. The shot is not truly a home court event like you would want. Let's go back in time to go where we used to play. Okay, great, that'd be cool. Now, if that's the case, you would have to upgrade the concourse. You have to upgrade certain areas inside St. John Arena to make sure that it is ready for Buckeye basketball again. You would have to. And when I think about going back to St. John Arena, that'd be my first thought and belief. I'd be like, the arena's here. I don't know the capacity on the top of my head, but the capacity doesn't matter. It has hosted a lot of games. It is a perfect venue for college basketball. Why not use it? And it's still there. It's not like Ohio State ended up building a new arena and tore the other one down. No, it is still there. I know they play basketball there every now and then in spot moments, but it's still there. Not being used for what it was made for. Make it make sense. Looking at it right now on the Wikipedia, there were some teams that were playing inside St. John Arena after the basketball team moved to the shot. Men's gymnastics competed there until 2019, just like wrestling competed in there until 2019. Women's volleyball played there until 2018. Women's gymnastics and men's volleyball also competed inside St. John Arena until 2019. So it wasn't just Ohio State basketball that was taking up everything. No, they used it for multiple sports, and it made sense. So why don't you do the same thing? The capacity of St. John Arena is listed on Wikipedia at 13,276. That's perfect. You don't need a NBA size, an arena that has NBA size in it. No, not at all. This is college basketball. Duke, I can't stand Duke. But one of the things that makes that Cameron Indoor Stadium Arena, I don't know what it's called, such a crazy place to play is because it seats like 10,000 or 9,000 people. It's not very large. Mackey Arena seats 14,000. I was there. Let's say this name on purpose. I was there when Jaden Ivey hit the shot in the final seconds of the game to beat Ohio State there in Mackey Arena. And I remember where I was sitting in the media section there, and the snap of the net. And we're pretty, not to the top, but it's almost like you're in the top half of the arena. I could hear the snap and the pop of the net when he hit that shot. I remember it's a barn, but man, this is a great venue, and it's about 14,000 people. Imagine a game against Michigan where that arena would seat, let's say it seats 13,000. 13,000 people all yelling and going crazy because Michigan is in town. That would be huge. I would love to go back to St. John Arena. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Ohio State should maybe temporarily get things ready to play there, but the end goal should be tear down the shot, build a new arena that has a capacity of no more than 14,000, maybe 14,500 to be exact. So you have 14,500 being the number of the capacity of the arena that should be built, and let the basketball team play there. You're not Kentucky with that seats at Rupp Arena 22,000 people. No. I would want to say the Dean Dome is larger. There are venues that are larger. If Ohio State were a basketball team, I would say keep it. But also, if they were a basketball team, you wouldn't be worried about the place being full because, man, they ain't going to fill that thing up like crazy every moment they can. Moving to St. John Arena would be phenomenal. But I think some of the upgrades that need to be made, moving things out, moving things back in, I think that those resources can be used elsewhere to get the same result. What do you think Ohio State basketball team should play? Should they play in the shop? Should they play in St. John Arena? Should they tear it down for a little bit and build something else? What do you think they should do? Leave your comment and your thought in the YouTube comment section on this video, because I am very, very curious to hear what you have to think and what you have to say in regards to this very topic. Thank you for making Locked On Buckeyes your first listen of the day. Make sure you subscribe and follow Locked On Buckeyes so you get all the latest episodes. If you never miss an episode, the Everyday Club is built for you. Get Locked On Buckeyes ad-free, plus members-only Discord access and more. Head to LockedOnBuckeyes.supercast.com to join the club. For those of you on video, we send you to the first ever 24/7 National Locked On Podcast Network YouTube channel. On audio, make sure you make your second listen Locked On College Basketball. You can follow me on any social media platform at jstevens07. Send every email to jstevens317@gmail.com. This has been Locked On Buckeyes on a hump day. We'll see you next time.